Hi, my name is Nathan Golden, also known as Cloud Backup Guy. This video will demonstrate the Managecast Veeam Backup and Disaster Recovery portal from a customer perspective. Our goal was to unify all the tools needed for clients to see the status of their backups, replication jobs, and give them easy access to initiate server disaster recovery failovers. We also wanted to show our clients that we were monitoring the backups and provide a historical, auditable record of backup and support activity. The first thing we see is this high-level dashboard. This graph shows the backups over a given time frame, with the default view being 30 days. Red indicates a failure, yellow are warnings, and green is successful. This time frame can be changed. I'll go ahead and show the last 90 days. And note that I can select any part of the graph and zoom in to see that in more detail. This view is the calendar view and shows me the status of the backups on each day. I'll go ahead and change that to the last 30 days to see more history. I can see here that the backups did not run on Saturday or Sunday because there's no activity, whereas other Saturdays and Sundays do have activity. And that turned out to be a problem with the machine that did the backups on those days, and it's easily visible and seen here as a gap in the backups. So allows us to identify that more quickly. The numbers in the cells indicate the number of backups or replications that occurred on that particular day. If all is green, that means that all were successful. If some were green and some yellow is in the cell, that means that there were some warnings. And there are times where we also have failures as well as warnings on a given day. I can click on any day to zoom in and see the status of that particular day. So this shows me the warning that I had. It shows that we have acknowledged the alert and who did it and when. And we also put a note in here indicating what the issue was. Down below, we show a longer term history of the backup. The default is the last 30 days. So even though I'm looking at this particular error, I can easily go back and see the past and maybe see what my past errors were for this job. And again, when that was acknowledged and who acknowledged it. The black line indicates the duration of the backup, and the blue line indicates how much data was transferred during that particular session. And you can easily see when there's a spike in duration or time, and that might indicate a problem as well, even though there was no error, it was successful. So again, trying to give you a long view of the backup so you can see any kind of anomalies that might stand out. The next thing I will show is an actual failover. To initiate a failover, I'm going to go to the Veeam Availability Console. Notice that there are no separate logins for the Veeam Availability Console. So once you sign into our portal, you get access to all tools through a single sign-on. To initiate a failover, I go to my failover plans. I only have one failover plan here. I'll go ahead and click on Start to start that failover plan. This now says in progress, so the failover has been started. In order to access this server or to continue to monitor the status of the server booting, I'm going to go back to the dashboard and click on vCloud Director. We had to open vCloud Director in a separate window because vCloud Director does not support iframes, but we also noticed that we didn't have to sign in, it's automatic. This is my VM that is now being failed over. It takes a few moments from when you initiate the failover in Veeam to start that virtual machine on our side. We will see the status of the tasks down here. So we should see when that VM starts, and we'll give it a moment to do so. Okay, the virtual machine is starting. It's in a powered on state. It's probably still booting, but I will go ahead and access the console. We'll watch it boot. I am at the login. Go ahead and log into the server. And my server is running. Okay, and the nice thing about the DR environment is that I don't have to worry about shutting it down when I'm finished with it. So you don't have to log out, you don't have to shut it down. I can simply close this, go back to the Veeam availability console. I'll go back to failover plans where I can see that this is still in failover, and I can choose undo, which will basically clean up the disaster recovery side. Undo is in progress. This will have the effect of automatically powering off the virtual machine over here and return the DR environment to the state it was before I started my failover. So all pretty easy to use and access your failover servers. There we get notification that the VM is stopping. And that is it. So pretty easy to initiate a disaster recovery failover.